Morning, everybody. It is 8:35 on this Monday morning, the 8th of April, and this is your pre-opening comment video number 2138. Okay, very flat pre-open. Asia and Europe were both higher overnight, and when I came down, the Dow was up about six. Nasdaq was down about five, and the S&P was down one. This carried over from last night, where really there was no activity, or at least that's the way it seemed from the net change perspective. This morning we have the bonds down over a point. We have the 10 year at 445. That's up 9 basis points, and makes the bonds look just horrendous. Right now, the Dow is up 41, Nasdaq is up 23, and the S&P is up about 5. So, coming to light a little, but certainly not very much. Bitcoin is up 5,300, back over 73K. And the chart on the screen, which I found very interesting from last night till this morning, is the silver. To give you an idea, April 5th, that was Friday, we were in this 27, 2680 area. Initially, we got to about, uh, let's see, we got to about 27, 2705. But when we opened last night, we were straight down. The high was 27, less than a 1, and in no time at all we were down to 26.48. So that was about 50 cents down on the silver. And then around 8 o'clock, with the low of 26.48, we just exploded back to the upside. In, let's see, this is 8 o'clock. Pardon me, this is 7:30. This was the move down yesterday. Moved back up, came back down and tested. This is 7:30 this morning, and since then we've been up to 2760, pulled back to exactly the point of the breakout, and then moved higher with a high of 2803. And let's see what the last is. Go back to the daily, give us 6 months. As you can see, here's where we got down to 2707 and rallied all the way back up to 2819. And right now we're 2766, and 2766 is up about 15 cents. But this is a magnificent move. I mean, we're basically just mid-range, with a total range of $1.20 in a $27 commodity. That's pretty amazing. MACD looks like it's rolling back to the upside. When I look at the weekly, it shows that the MACD is absolutely flatlined around the zero line. I mean, we haven't been, above or below to any substantial value since September. So this actually, could move substantially higher. Let's also remember that while the gold is making new all time highs, the silver is 50% below its all time high. I mean, you have this same kind of pattern with a big consolidation moving across, and then this big rally up. Right now, gold is basically unchanged, with a relatively short range compared to the silver. Okay, so the most important thing that I learned this morning from Sarah Eisen's interview with Janet Yellen, who I consider a political parrot for the administration, totally political, is that she knows how to use chopsticks on her trip to China. I heard really nothing that I haven't heard before. And, that's kind of a disappointment. Okay, so um, let's take a look and see what's going on in the world on the news side. It isn't much, obviously. Taiwan Semiconductor getting 6.6 billion from the CHIPS Act. Uh, I'm not sure how that relates to, even though the equipment will be built in Arizona, I'm not really sure how giving a foreign business $6 billion fits into um, the idea that they want more manufactured here. Manufacturing something here that the profits go to Taiwan is not really what I had in mind when they discussed it. Boeing and Southwest Airlines, another incident. Um, but it seems to me it's more of Southwest Airlines maintenance than it is Boeing planes. They lost an engine cover from a Southwest Airlines flight, and that's what the FAA is investigating. According to what I've heard so far in the regular mainstream news, was that something the pilot got on and said they were going back because something struck that engine. So I'm not sure how Boeing could be responsible for that. With the cryptos up as much as they are, Coinbase is 254.80. That's up almost 14 or 5.8%. Apple basically unchanged, down a half a dollar or 0.3% on an agreement with the EU demand over music. Spirit reached an agreement with Airbus. They are not taking delivery of any of the Airbuses that they ordered for delivery between Q2 of next year and the end of 26 to 3030. And AMAT 211 up 315 or 1.5% on an upgrade to overweight from neutral at Cantor Fitzgerald. So that's about it. We really don't look like much this morning. As I said, that 10-year at 446, up 10 basis points now, ought to be having a bit more of a, we ought to have a bit more of a response, I would think, from the markets, but it's just not there. And as I said, bonds are down a full point. Dollar is barely moving up. So, it ought to be an interesting day. Dow up 42 currently. Um, NASDAQ up 26. And the S&P is still up $5 or $6. All right, folks, have a good day. I may be averaging on the UNG, uh, which this morning, remarkably, is basically unchanged, down a penny after being both higher and lower. The oil, by the way, I know I skipped over this, but the oil also had a big range today. When it opened last night, it was about unchanged to slightly lower. But, let's go to the daily so you can see it. Its range, again, all the way down, closed yesterday 86.91, got down to 84.69. That's $2.25 to the downside. Currently trading on the high, still down, but down only 50 cents, 52 cents, which is a hell of a move back up. Okay, folks, I'll be back later if there's anything to do. If not, have a good day. Oh, and don't forget to wear your glasses and not look directly into the sun for the eclipse.